Here are the top 14 movies for Spanish learners, not limited to Netflix. There are a lot of streaming sites and even more Spanish movies out there, so finding the right movies to improve your Spanish can be tricky. Whether you're looking for classic cinema, modern dramas, or lighthearted comedies, as the one I love, I have curated the perfect list to immerse you in real-world Spanish while keeping you entertained. And the best part, they're not just limited to Netflix. So let's dive in with the very first film, Relatos Salvajes. Relatos Salvajes is a dark Argentinian anthology film that delivers 6 standalone stories filled with satire, absurdity, and raw human emotion. Each of the 6 segments explores a different tale of catharsis, violence, and revenge. From road rage taken to the extreme to a wedding reception spiraling into absolute chaos, the film masterfully blends tension, humor, and social commentary. With its sharp storytelling and very unpredictable twists, this Amazon Prime film keeps audiences on edge while exposing the fragile nature of civility. Expect to hear very fast-paced Rioplatense Spanish and rich with Argentine slang, which you'll be pretty familiar with at this point. Perfectos, desconocidos. Perfectos, desconocidos is a Spanish dramedy that follows 4 longtime couples who gather for what seems like an ordinary dinner party. But then, one of them suggests a seemingly harmless game, placing their phones on the table, reading out loud every message and answering every call in front of the group. That would be awkward enough at any normal dinner party, but as the night unfolds, hidden truths, betrayals, and long-buried tension surface, ensuring that no one leaves the evening unscathed. This intense and thought-provoking film keeps viewers on edge with its sharp dialogue, unexpected twists, and masterful social commentary. This Amazon Prime movie offers the chance to hear clear Iberian Spanish, sprinkled with very common everyday expressions. ¿Qué culpa tiene el niño? ¿Qué culpa tiene el niño is a hilarious Mexican comedy that follows Maru, who, after a fun and tremendously drunken night at a friend's wedding, discovers that she's pregnant. Once she manages to recall who she was with, she tracks down Renato and surprises him with the pregnancy announcement. Maru is horrified to find out that Renato still lives with his mother, and not only that, but he's neither studying nor working, plus kind of seeing someone else at the moment. All this to say, things are less than ideal and a little more than complicated at the moment. This Amazon Prime movie is full of beautiful Mexican accents and expressions, as well as tons of wedding, relationship, and baby-related vocabulary. Soltera, codiciada. Soltera, codiciada is a witty and relatable Peruvian romantic comedy that follows Maria Fe after her boyfriend of 6 years suddenly dumps her. After several nights of tears and alcohol, and encouraged by her friends, she decides to let off steam the only way she knows: writing. She creates a blog where she hilariously chronicles the highs and lows of being single, and to her surprise, the blog becomes a viral sensation. And of course, as it happens, that's when the ghost of her ex chooses to reappear in her life, forcing Maria Fe to question whether she can take her own advice. This Netflix film is filled with Peruvian slang and fast-paced Lima Spanish, so it's really the perfect movie to round any learner's knowledge of Spanish. Hoy se arregla el mundo. Hoy se arregla el mundo is a heartwarming Argentinian dramedy that follows David, the Greek Samaras, a producer of the popular talk show Hoy se arregla el mundo, or Today, the world is fixed. Hoy se arregla el mundo is a talk show where everyday people attempt to resolve personal conflicts in relationships, couples, friendships, anything. Which is ironic because his own life is far from perfect. His closest bond is with his 9-year-old son, Benito, the fruit of a casual relationship. Everything changes for David when, plot twist, he learns that Benito is not actually his biological son, and determined to find the real father, David and Benito embark on a journey together. This Netflix movie is packed with Rioplatense Spanish and Argentine slang, with the added benefit of getting to hear how a young child talks in Spanish. Tres bodas de más. Tres bodas de más is a hilarious and very chaotic Spanish romantic comedy that takes wedding season to the extreme. The movie asks itself the question, is there anything worse than your ex-boyfriend marrying someone else and inviting you to his wedding? And the answer is yes, it happening 3 times in 1 month. The story follows Ruth, who, unable to refuse, reluctantly accepts all 3 invitations, but the only person willing to be her date is her new intern. Ruth then has to navigate the ceremonies of her former flames, a commitment phobe, a wild surfer, and a trans woman who has blossomed into a total catch. And she's forced to confront her past and reconsider what and who she really wants in life. This Amazon Prime movie is a perfect example of Spanish humor. So be ready to hear expressive Iberian Spanish, full of slang and playful banter. Perdiendo el norte. Perdiendo el norte is a sharp Spanish comedy that tackles the struggles of immigration, job insecurity, and the clash of cultures with plenty of humor. The film follows Hugo and Braulio, two young university graduates who, tired of not finding work in Spain, decide to immigrate to Germany, following the siren song of a television program like Españoles en el Mundo. Reality quickly shatters their dreams, however, since finding work isn't as easy as they thought, and adapting to a new country comes with more challenges than they ever imagined. This Netflix film is full of the classic Iberian Spanish, a terrible attempt at German, as well as witty dialogue, cultural misunderstandings, and plenty of hilarious moments. And hey, humor is one of the toughest things to get in another language, which is why I always recommend using FluentU. FluentU has a Chrome extension that lets you learn with any Netflix and YouTube content that has subtitles. It simply makes each subtitle word clickable, so you can see meanings, examples written by language experts, and video examples of native speakers using the vocab across different contexts. And you are able to add the words to your vocab to practice them in a personalized quiz on FluentU later. You can also import your favorite YouTube videos into your FluentU account, making it easier to watch them and learn on your phone. Plus, FluentU also takes authentic videos like movie scenes, clips from TV shows, music videos, and even tech talks and the news, and turns them into personalized language learning lessons. In addition to this, FluentU has Spanish lessons with helpful teacher explanations. At the end of each lesson and video, you get personalized quizzes and speaking questions to make everything you learn really stick. By the way, which movie would you like to learn Spanish with? Comment below to get a chance of winning 1 year of FluentU for free. You can also click on the link in the description below to check it out with a free trial. Now, back to our list. Mar Adentro. Mar Adentro is a deeply moving Spanish drama that explores life, dignity, and the right to choose one's own fate. The film tells the true story of Ramon San Pedro, a man who has been bedridden for nearly 30 years after an accident left him paralyzed. His only connection to the outside world is the view from his window, the sea that both gave him life and took it away. While his devoted family takes care of him, Ramon's only wish is to end his suffering on his own terms, and his fight for the right to die with dignity sparks an emotional and very complex legal battle, forcing those around him to question love, freedom, and morality. You can find this movie on Netflix, and it's not one you'll want to miss, since it's also a rare opportunity to hear Galician accented Spanish. Arrugas. Arrugas, or Wrinkles, is a beautifully crafted and deeply touching animated film that explores aging, friendship, and dignity with warmth, humor, and a heart. This story, which you can find on Netflix, follows Emilio, a retired man who is sent to a nursing home after showing early signs of Alzheimer's. There, he befriends Miguel, a mischievous yet caring resident who helps him navigate his new reality. Fearing the dreaded Lost Causes ward, Emilio and his companions hatch a plan to delay the inevitable. Based on Paco Roca's acclaimed graphic novel, this 2D animated film proves that animation isn't just for kids, but it's actually a powerful medium for telling meaningful, emotional stories. Once again, you'll be treated to a mix of Iberian Spanish, which is actually known for having great dubbing in animation. Julieta. Julieta is a hauntingly beautiful Spanish drama by Pedro Almodóvar that explores the complexities of motherhood, loss, and the passage of time. The story starts when Julieta is about to leave Madrid to go live in Portugal and happens to meet Bea, an old friend of her daughter Antía, whom she has not seen or heard from for years. Bea tells Julieta that she saw Antía at Lake Como in Italy and that she now has 3 children. Stunned by this revelation, Julieta cancels her plan and begins to write about her daughter, recounting the events that led to their separation, starting with the fateful day she met Antía's father during a train journey. You can find this film on Netflix and on Amazon Prime, and expect to hear Iberian Spanish like you've never heard before, with moments of tension and reflection that amplify the film's emotional depth. Amor de Madre. Amor de Madre is a hilarious and heartwarming Spanish comedy that follows José Luis, who has just been left at the altar. If that weren't enough, Mari Carmen, his mother, has insisted on accompanying him on his honeymoon with the excuse of not wasting the money. Every minute they spend in Mauricio, José Luis feels more unhappy and unsuccessful, while Mari Carmen has the time of her life, living all the experiences she had always wanted and revealing herself as the wonderful woman she really is, and that her family doesn't really see. This fun and emotional film captures both the comedy and the tenderness of family dynamics, while providing more opportunities to listen to Iberian Spanish. Klaus. Klaus is a heartwarming and visually stunning animated film that reimagines the origins of Santa Claus in a beautiful, original way. The story follows Jesper, the laziest and most disinterested student at the Postal Academy, who is sent to Smearensburg, a remote and cold island beyond the Arctic Circle, where the town's inhabitants are so caught up in feuds that they hardly communicate, let alone exchange letters. Just as Jesper is about to give up, he discovers Klaus, a mysterious man who ends up paving the way to bring the two halves of town together through his ability to create toys. This heartwarming 2D animated film is a fresh and heartfelt take on the Christmas classic, with clear Spanish and expressive dialogue. Diario de motocicleta. Diario de motocicleta is a biographical drama that follows the early motorcycle travels of Ernesto Che Guevara and his friend Alberto Granado across South America in 1952. What originally begins as an adventurous road trip quickly becomes a transformative experience as Che is deeply moved by the lives of indigenous peasants and the injustices that they face. As they travel through remote villages and witness firsthand the harsh realities of life for the marginalized, Che's idealism and vision for change begin to take shape. You can find this beautifully shot film on Amazon Prime, and be prepared to hear several different dialects as the film explores different parts of South America. El hijo de la novia. El hijo de la novia is a touching Argentinian dramedy that follows the story of Rafael, a middle-aged restaurant owner who's completely consumed by his work. Rafael is a divorced dad who barely sees his daughter and hasn't seen his mother, who is struggling with Alzheimer's disease, in years. I won't spoil what happens, but Rafael's life is turned upside down as he starts to reevaluate every single one of his life choices. This Amazon Prime film is packed with heartfelt Argentinian expressions, so expect to hear plenty of Rio Platense Spanish, complete with its distinctive sh sound for G and Y, as well as a rich array of Argentine slang. If you're interested in different accents and dialects from different Spanish-speaking countries, go enjoy this video where we recommend the best Spanish reality TV shows to learn Spanish.